Hey everybody, clearing. Okay, I am back from my solstice trip and what an amazing time it was. I got to go to Valhalla Festival, check that out sometime. It's I think the 5th year it's been on in Terrace, British Columbia, and it was so wholesome and so beautiful. 3 stages, so many great people. It was really, really nice. So if that's your jam, check it out. I highly recommend, one of the best festivals I've ever been to. But let's get into it. So we're gonna start with a card for each of the masculines and feminines, and then we're going to go into the intimacy, connection on all the chakra levels and see where the masculines and feminines are relating on all the chakras at this time. Okay, so for the connection, we are getting magic works through you. It came out in the reverse. So this is a friendly neighborhood reminder that magic works through you. Don't wait to see what somebody else is going to do. Be the change you wish to see in the world. For the feminines, what can we see about that? Act as if, yes. So this isn't about faking it till you make it necessarily or pretending. This is about truly embodying unconditional love, understanding what that means, embodying the higher timelines before they ever happen. Evoke them with embodiment of the reality of those things prematurely. That's not the same as deluding yourself. That is living your highest potential without waiting for something to lead the way in the 3D. It means being guided energetically in the name of love. And so remember, that will never ask you to harm yourself or anyone else. But when you behave and act and see the world through the eyes of the potentials, the highest potentials available, that is a very sincere, honest, high frequency way of living. It's much better than being in suffering and allowing fear to run the show and act as though nothing good will happen, right? So it is much more positive. I'm trying to think of an example that I can give. You know, it's about interpreting your reality in the loving way rather than the fear-based way. It causes us to think of things in much different context and to act differently accordingly. And what about the masculines? Lay a solid foundation. So this came out in the inverse, which means an internal foundation. So start with beautiful internal thoughts, divine masculines. Magic works through you, so it's a self-discipline first. Okay, so masculines need some positive thinking. I'm going to clarify all of these. So with the feminines, what are the feminines specifically being asked to act as if regarding? Okay, act as if you're almost near the end. This is the 9 of Wands. Act as if the end of the race is in sight, as if union is just around the corner, as if you have gone through all of these things so that you can only love more, that you've been qualifying this love, that you've been getting to know yourself and other, that you're coming into this beautiful understanding. You're just about to cross the finish line, and act accordingly to that kind of viewpoint, instead of letting the length of the journey or the obstacles or the disheartening things get a grip on you. Flip it and tell yourself, it's all coming to this point. This is what it's all been for. We've only been through all of this so we can love more purely. And for the masculines, lay a solid foundation. What is that about? Yeah, so interpreting what your feminine has said and done through the eyes of love. Immediately, there are things that you can look back on and use your intuition on a deeper level. You can see, I'm getting protection strategies from this card, the 7 of Wands. And so there are things, divine masculines, that you've been on guard and defensive about that you haven't had to, or that your feminine has been on guard about in the past that you've interpreted as though you're being rejected, or, you know, your feminine's been in fear or aloof or taken space. You're being asked to drop in and give the benefit of the doubt and see the kind of mirrored energy that might have played out in the past when one or both of you were not in the clarity of love yet. So laying that solid foundation means going back into those confusing moments and understanding that it was a ricochet in the mirror of insecurity rather than confidence, potentially. That kind of a flip. How would it look if you curiously asked to see some situations from the past in a different way? Words, actions. Lay a solid foundation by understanding how people act and behave when they aren't sure how the other one feels. And just know it's trust building, en route to trust building. Lay that foundation where you see that not everything that everybody says has got it all figured out at all times. And consider that possibly your feminine has loved you, that you've loved your feminine more than either of you have been able to access yet. Okay, let's look at the intimacy. So I've got a whole lot of decks here. I am about to start shuffling 6 decks. So thank you, Divine Creator. What can we see regarding all of the chakra levels and the intimacy that the counterparts are experiencing? What are the thresholds of intimacy, the themes being worked on? What can we see on each of those levels, chakra levels, and how they relate to the chakras, the different points of consideration? How are the feminines interacting with these cosmic energies right now? What can we see in the collective, in the cosmology of the twin flame unfolding on the planet? So the feminines here, and then 2 more decks for the masculines. I'm almost there. That was 4 decks. I'm also about to open up some more sessions for the next little while. I actually haven't released anything from July yet, so this evening I'm likely, maybe even before this video is up, going to figure out what my schedule can be so that people can get some sessions as well. Okay. Intimacy, crown chakra, here we go. Wow, Queen of Feathers, so that's the Queen of Swords. So this is a knowing on the crown chakra. I'm going to read the guidebook for these. And then alongside that we have remembrance. Queen of Feathers. The Queen of Feathers is an advanced dominatrix who enjoys being a little intimidating. She plays seriously within a designated framework. Subordination is inevitable. She may lie down for her lover, but under no circumstance should her partners consider themselves in control. Her partners, whether top or bottom, can find themselves trapped in an intricate teasing web. She's naturally graceful and can be seriously playful when off duty. Okay, so what I'm getting from this is that on the crown chakra, each counterpart is getting information in how to be more playful and come into their own a little bit more creatively, a little bit more, outspoken or boldly. And remembering I'm hearing you learn the tools to break the rules. So the Queen of Feathers plays seriously within a designated framework. So there have been trust parameters established in these connections, and now we're kicking it up with a little bit more cosmic play. Like the parameters have been set a little bit so that these connections can be more playful in a sacred way, I'm getting. So there's more ability to push the limits with each other in the one-on-one connection. And that doesn't mean using words recklessly or teasing in a unkind way. That means that there's more feeling into our full potential or stepping out of our comfort zone a little bit more at this time. And then we have remembrance. So we might find that we're saying bolder things, we're beginning to speak with a knowing of clarity. There seems to be a little bit more navigation, sight unseen. So word choices and things that we're saying to each other are coming from a heightened perspective. Instead of needing backstory, there's more confident, bold expression right now. And remembrance. The frequency of remembrance supports our memory of everything that we've gone through as a soul in body, providing us with valuable information and tools to flow gracefully in and with this life. So grace is the word of this crown chakra right now. So there is grace coming in. There is a unfolding of grace in the dynamics. So what that means is we're no longer holding on to the past. We're no longer worried about the future. We're humming along in a state of grace, connected to the crown, connected to the higher dimensions, and present. Grace is presence. It's like a future primitive kind of energy. Even this motif looks very primitive and futuristic. So being in a state of grace lets us take liberties and risks, I want to say, but not really. It's within a framework that's still sacred, but is beyond what we could understand if it was somebody we didn't trust so much. So there is a bold confidence coming in, but it's not disrespectful. It feels like full aliveness starting to emerge. It's uncharted territory. It's not rude or mean in any way. It's expanded though, but still graceful. So how are the masculines experiencing this? They darn well know who their feminine is. This is the card of public knowledge. It's in the reverse. So there is a knowing that you, divine feminine, are the one that your divine masculine wants all the world to know is their counterpart. So there is it's almost like an awards ceremony or a banquet or an event is coming up where others will see, or there's a preparation for that if there isn't anything planned yet. This could also be wedding preparation, wedding planning. The masculines could have that kind of energy associated with the next time you go out on the town together or something like that. It's like they now see you as wifey material, take gender how it resonates, and they are viewing you not so much anymore as somebody they know or somebody they might be interested in. They are looking to you to be on their side as their partner, and so they're preparing to maybe travel to see you because there's a plane again, but they're preparing to have this sort of public understanding of your connection. And so they're getting all these downloads about what that's going to be like when they step out with you into the public eye as counterparts, as life partners, as a couple that way. And many of these connections have been on the hush-hush down low. People haven't known about them. So this is a preparation for when others do and how that's going to feel. They're being put at ease, I'm getting from this, as they remember that, oh yes, you are the person that's going to be the other pea in their pod. So how are the feminines experiencing this? Whoa, are you kidding? Ace of coins, ace of coins. So brand new, slate is cleared, brand new energy across the board. So inside and out, the feminines are understanding that this is their person and they can push the envelope, push the limits, say anything. You can't say the wrong thing to the right person. You're being your quirky, delightful, unapologetic self, divine feminines, because you know that it's converging in the physical. You know that you are this person to your counterpart, and they know that you are that person to them. What can we see on the third eye? We're getting 8 of roses. So that is doing the work. Okay, a regular and reliable arrangement or resource. Sometimes we just want someone who can comfortably deliver. So we're coming home into our skin. We've got this crown chakra knowing, and now this third eye energy is grounding it in this knowledge of who the other really is as we prepare to be more outwardly expressive of the connection to others. There is a deep inner knowing on how that is shifting. It's like this unspoken change that's becoming embodied. Routines are harder to break if we enjoy them. So there are certain things we've become accustomed to on this journey where we've forgotten that these connections will be expressions out into community and influential in certain ways. They will be leadership connections. They will show others certain things. They will be teamwork. They will be a different model of relationship out into the world. And so people have, I'm hearing, have gotten lazy with relationships and what that looks like out into the world. And that does not mean that these connections will be boastful, but that they will be so high frequency that when the two come together and are known by others, friends, community, family, business, that there will be opportunities that the two will access through intuition that other relationships don't have the same standards to uphold. Not that it's work with twins in public expression to have a duty to uphold, but there's a sacred accountability. There's an impeccability with righteousness in real love relationships that will be demonstrated moment to moment in these connections, so that there will be appropriate conduct. The two will be intuitively connected to each other so that it will be flawless in the eyes of others. So there won't be energetic leaks of energy, and that others won't feel the instability of a connection with these counterparts. What else are we getting here? Communication. So twins are going to be communicating. Divine counterparts are going to be communicating, broadcasting an energy of togetherness, of working together, of specializing in excellent relationship, communication, dynamics, and that will be used to show others how it's done. By example, directly, it could be teaching it directly, or it could just be observed by those around. Communication supports our ability to exchange information in many different forms. It reminds us to run every piece of information, both incoming and outgoing, through our heart, the center of our truth, to stay in the flow of source and balanced exchange. So remember, everything you do, a side-eye glance, a comment under the breath, a look at something, all of that is either impeccable or leaking energy. And these connections are undergoing an integral overhaul where both counterparts are looking at their intuitive guidance for how to be impeccable and honor and respect each other and community around. So what can we see for the masculines? Yes, the epitome, the embodiment of commitment in all the world, the universe, in all the universe. The great one of the nighttime. So even at nighttime, this commitment shines bright. There is this crown chakra knowing of the Queen of Pentacles. So we get the King of Pentacles, and the Queen of Pentacles was the first card. So the masculine, the divine masculines know who their counterpart is, and intuitively, even when nobody's looking, they're still understanding how to represent that full awareness, the sun motif here, the full enlightenment of the connection throughout the universe. There is no dimension that the masculines are secretly harboring anything other than this commitment energy, and working on communicating that, embodying it further. So the Eight of Roses is the card of the specialist in the connection place. The Ten of Roses is the legacy that will be secured going forward through these connections actually coming into physical and broad daylight knowledge. So right now there's like a embodiment before the dawn kind of energy the masculines are going through, and they're feeling into this calm of the nighttime before the sun dawns on these connections is what I'm getting. I'm really getting this sun energy with the Ace of Pentacles. The pentacles can represent the solar year. It can represent a year's worth of investment. It could be this sweet spot between the last year's investment and how the new expression will play out over the coming year. So for the feminines, what can we see for communicating this togetherness? Wow, we got the Ace of Cups and the Eight of Wands. So this is the intentional exchange, the telepathic exchange, so the intuitive exchange. So divine feminines know, they love themselves, and they can take or leave any show of affection that measures up or falls short. So the divine feminines have been impeccable barometers, have become impeccable barometers to authentic, genuine love. They know when shows of love and fidelity ring true on their heart space. They can tell. You cannot lie to a divine feminine, someone who loves themselves to boot. You cannot pull the wool over their eyes. They feel that purity or not. So divine masculines are preparing, I'm hearing, to walk beside their counterparts and not harm them, to be blameless, to be out in the public knowledge as unified counterparts. And feminines have been doing the preparation so that they are purified, so they know that they are blameless, so they can tell if their counterpart is ready for this level of union. They're paying attention to the communication of those unspoken signals and specializing in purifying themselves so that they're not bringing anything lower to the table. Throat chakra, what can we see? Four of Feathers. So this is integration in many decks. A claim staked successfully. Take some time to rest, recuperate, and reflect. Then you can work out a more relaxed and generous angle. So something has recently been communicated. This is on the throat chakra, so exchanged either energetically or directly in text messages, socials, phone calls, in person. Something has been shared, a birdie on the wind maybe has shared some information. Something's found each counterpart right now that has proven the connection in some way. If that hasn't happened directly, it could be a shift of mindset. It could be a new level of integration within you, viewer. It doesn't have to come from an external source. It can be an aha moment that shows you what love really is on a deeper level. If you don't take time to recover from pleasure or past hurt, you cannot be fully prepared for re-engagement. So there's a period of independent rest right now where both counterparts need to have alone time to really ground into their own wholeness at this point. and universal love. So this is where we keep coming back to source. Universal love says the frequency of universal love activates the connection we feel to each other, to our planet, and the whole of existence. So this is a good time for everybody to check into, where are you at with, I'm hearing specifically sexual tension, because we're looking at intimacy here. So do you still have any kind of loose sexual energy that is still unbalanced when it comes to potential other people, or have you balanced out in these connections? Are you healed? Do you still have any residual energy with past partners? Do you have any unhealed resentments or hurts or lack of forgiveness with others? This is the time to release all of that and really commit to unconditionally loving everything that's come before, so that you can wipe that slate clean and step into renewed, brand new connection like never before on a level of universal love. 44 of the angels are all around helping, and the 4 of feathers, that is a 444. So watch out for 4s right now, because that can be like a bell ringing to let go of the past, to heal, to rest even from pleasure, to not get manic and ahead of yourself and amped up with too much pleasure or pain. Both can be an imbalance. So come back into center, come back into rest. How are the masculines doing with that kind of communication? Okay, so Ace of Pentacles. So I'm seeing the Ace of Pentacles for the 3rd time, and we did have this already, that the feminines got on the crown chakra level these Ace of Pentacles. So that means that the feminines have maybe gotten an idea to offer to the masculines that came from divine guidance, this universal love, the angels at play. So the angels might have put it in the feminines' minds to offer the masculines something, or to be receptive to something that the masculines are offering here. And so the devil is turned on its head. These offers or communication or ideas right now are actually free from illusion. So I'm hearing, don't second guess certain things right now. If it feels good and crisp and free flowing, don't overthink it and wreck it. So divine masculines, you're really understanding that whatever your feminine may have offered you or suggested, it's not a game. Their intentions are pure. There's no devil energy in it. And in the past, there's that plane again, you may have brought devil energy into it and tainted the purity of what your feminine's offer has been, or their sentiment. So just rest with it for a while, so that you are coming at an angle of approach where you can actually meet your feminine's purity in this brand new energy, and you don't bring old devil energies into it. So don't respond right away, divine masculines. If you have an opportunity with your feminine, wait until you've kind of come down off the high of that, or come down off of whatever you've been going through right now, so you have a fresh approach. There is no hurry. You're not going to run out of time if you don't act right now on taking this opportunity that your feminine has suggested here. Ace of Coins are opportunities. So just rest with it. Trust in the grand picture, divine masculines, that universal love is at play here and you're safe. How are the feminines experiencing this? Okay, 7 of Swords, 7 of Cups and 10 of Swords. So this is abandonment wounds and a lot of confusion. So divine feminines, this is where we walk away from those triggers, the confusion. Keep it simple right now. Stay as above, so below. You have had this very simple, love-based, higher guidance. Just be in it. Just trust. You've done so much work on this journey, divine feminines. Allow any confusion, triggers to just fall away. It means you're hungry, thirsty, need to go to the bathroom, need sleep, need rest, need exercise, need nutritious food, whatever it is. You know what your body needs to bring you back into optimum. Don't believe the hype right now, divine feminines. So don't overthink anything. Just tell yourself you're safe, you're okay, and relax right now. Let things unfold naturally. It will play out. Okay, what can we see for the heart space at this time? 7 of feathers and heart chakra on the heart space. Beautiful. So 7 of feathers. A thrill of a secret, a hidden kink, poor effort, insufficient preparation, failure to follow through, need for strategic planning. So divine feminines, you might feel like you have a secret right now. But I'm getting that there has been insufficient effort in the past, and you're just wondering how to keep the faith and go forward in case things don't work out going forward. So it is a brand new cycle coming in. With all those Ace of Pentacles, I'm just being led to say it's not going to be like ever before now. You're too whole, you're too wise, you're too intuitive, you've become that barometer. Your bullshit-o-meter is on fleek. So you cannot, be misguided if you run it through your heart. We've got heart chakra on the heart space. So the frequency of heart chakra, the green flower of life, supports our capacity to love deeply and unconditionally. Its healing properties harmonize the mind and the body. So you don't have to worry about anything outside your own heart space. It will never lead you astray. If you get red flags literally on the heart space, don't go in that direction, even if it's your masculine. If your heart is at peace and there's no skepticism, there's no fear, you've worked through all of that, so you truly have purified, and you know when it's your own guilty conscience or projections coming from you, you've cleared all that, trust it. Just be in safety, even if it's counterintuitive. Let go of all the lower vibrational stuff and drop into your heart. You don't have to rush anything. You don't have to push it. So how are the masculines feeling this heart chakra and the secret? There's a secret here on the heart space. Their hearts are a flutter, I just heard. So divine masculines might have a little some secret up their sleeve. Wow, eight of cups. Lord of Abandoned Success and Wheel of Fortune. So there's something about a changeover, and I just heard the masculines know it's time to leave behind the karmic situation, people, places, things, and ask for the divine guidance to come into alignment with truth on the heart level. So the masculines have a secret. They are walking away from everything that is not these connections, divine feminines. That's what I just confidently heard. And so, yes, in the past there's been unstable effort because there has been unsuccessful stuff that hasn't played out, hasn't panned out the way that the masculines thought it would, that they were trying to see, just be sure if that was truly where they were supposed to be or not. And they've realized nothing compares to you, divine feminines. Their hearts know that you are their hidden kink. I just heard that again. I've had that message with that particular card again. But they know that their hearts don't lie and that you're still in their heart. And so now they're willing to walk away from anything else. They're gaining the courage, the embodiment, knowing that you are the choice. And they're now waiting for the opportunity. And for the feminines, oh my goodness, we did it again. Those Pentacles, the Ace of Pentacles that came out together. Now we have 2 Knight of Cups coming out together. So there's an interesting message, feminines, where your heart space has aligned with something you are seeing in the material realm from your masculine. So for many that are about to come into these union energies in this cycle, remember, it can be on many different levels. So if this isn't you, if you're not in the vicinity of actually coming into physical union, get a session with me and we can figure out which stage of the journey you're on, because these energies are cyclical. So even if you're not in the group that's coming into physical union next, you're still in a layer of the onion that's becoming one more cycle closer to union readiness. That's the way this sharpening wheel works. So we have the feminines knowing they're ready and sensing the masculines coming into the new cycle. And here is this genuine, bold love that's being expressed from the feminine side and from the masculine side. So the feminines are understanding that there's so much more genuine communication, so much more authentic expression coming in, and that the heart is now not so stuffed up with fear and convoluted communication. Things are getting more delightful. And divine feminines know, because of your actions, divine masculines, that no other energies stand a chance as competitive threats to the feminine. They know that you would not still be communicating, talking with them, approaching, saying, doing the things you're doing if the karmic situation still had a profound hold on you. Yeah, I'm just being taken with the angel wings again. The angels are in favor of these connections. I just heard. So the feminines know, they can see without you directly. Their hearts see the truth of the interactions right now, even if you haven't said certain things, divine masculines. They know that things haven't worked out on your side of the energy because of the way you're behaving, I just heard. Okay, solar plexus chakra. King of Feathers. So we had the Queen of Feathers and now the King of Feathers. So that's the King of Swords, along with compassion. So feminines are having compassion on their King of Swords that had to be headstrong and try for themselves another path, just to make sure that this was not too good to be true, I heard. So the feminines are having compassion, and the masculines also have compassion where the feminines have diverged from this core connection. Let's read compassion. Supports our ability to stand by others without judgment and be the divine mediator between heaven and earth, spirit and matter, so unconditional love can flow from source through our heart and into the world. So this is the true empowerment, is that our happiness and our freedom and our emotions are not dependent on what somebody else is doing. That we can hold our own because we know what alignment feels like for us, and we're not rocked if somebody else isn't there yet or willing to meet us in it, or similar preferences or maturity or ability to understand righteousness. We can have compassion because it's just developmental stage. If they haven't come into love yet, they're en route. Wherever they're at, they're just learning. And so there's compassion here. King of Feathers on the solar plexus chakra level. So this has to do with our empowerment out into the world. As far as the King of Feathers is concerned, he's daddy. He doles out punishment and rewards according to his rules. He's a real stickler for them. He explains that it's for your own good. Boy, he's firm, but he says he's fair, and you don't feel you're in a position to disagree. Okay, so this is my way or the highway kind of energy right now. It says, don't get caught giggling at the back of the class. He has a foul temper and doesn't like having his authority undermined. Deep down, he knows that while he is king of the castle, he's no emperor. So any shows of false bravado, I just heard, don't believe it. Like, don't take it too sincerely. Remember, this is a king, it's not the emperor. So this is where ego can sort of have one last-ditched effort. So whatever these offers are, whatever this last bit of stress is that's being taken out, whatever the preparation is, there's still an energy of like, whoa, here we go, like, and a little showboaty. So divine masculines, be careful not to try to act the part. Be genuine, be yourself. You don't have to be a domineering energy. Masculine energy is not bossy. It's confident. So there's a difference between ego-driven and empowered. And so this King of Swords is here as a check for everybody, not to go into ego. There's still a little bit of ego playing out, though, where control and dominance is in question, and that we're reminded that the Emperor, with the healthy solar plexus chakra balance, the Emperor leads, and others don't even know that the Emperor energy is leading. It's not a showy thing. So yeah, with compassion, we can temper that insecurity that still might feel like it has to dominate in certain ways that are not beneficial. So we're being asked to have discernment. How are the masculines experiencing this? Well, it's still, yeah, we get the card of strength, which is this humility in the reverse. The masculines are going through a humbling. When they didn't know, when they were being boastful, when they were being demonstrative, feminines, when they were so exhausted. Masculines are realizing that they've been in survival mode, and they don't need to do that. They're having compassion for you when you've been in these modes, feminines. They're having compassion on themselves when they've been in those kinds of modes, and they see the end in sight. They see this grace coming in, I just heard. What are the feminines experiencing? Wow, yes, they're curious about what the next intimate connection will be like between the two. Curious to know if there's going to be any of this domination, or if it's going to be empowered and compassionate too, and mutual, I'm hearing. So there is also a sexual preparation here. The egoic power struggles are being dissipated right now, I just heard. So there is a balancing and an open permission to really expand at this time. I'm actually being called to clarify that. So what is the advice for the masculines that feel like the next sexual interaction or communication that leads potentially to this new physical beginning sexually, if they've got any concerns that the shoes are too big? Still, what can the masculines know at this time? Reclaim your power. So your true empowerment is Emperor energy. I'm actually going to go to the Erotic Tarot Emperor card and read it, because I feel like that King of Swords, with it saying that the King of Swords knows he's no Emperor, I think we need to know what the Emperor knows here. So tell us, do tell Emperor what the King of Swords would be wise to learn to reclaim their power. The Emperor is at home with his power. He can offer you a great deal. Being the boss requires confidence, charm, and a generous nature. Those at the top make it look easy, even if it was a battle to get here. It also requires imagination. What will you do with your power? What kind of example will you be? Exactly. So we are talking about public example of these relationships. So it's not about, you know, dragging your feminine by the hair in public, you know, divine masculines. This is about being a gentleman. Take gender how it resonates. Being somebody who adores your feminine in a trustworthy way, in a genuine way, in an authentic way that shows others how much you adore and respect your counterpart, with creativity, not dominance. There can be situations, I'm hearing some of you out there who are so inclined to be theatrical and take part in certain things that might be related to the erotic tarot. I can see that some of you might role play and do some kind of showy things, but this is also, remember the kindness, remember the true seat of power, and don't be misleading with certain actions, words, and deeds that those who don't have a great deal of discernment would have trouble understanding. if you're aware of it. You don't have to be overly cautious, but if it does come to you intuitively, heed that. I just want to see also, that was just 4433, and look at, we got 244 cards. So those 444s are all over the place. Reclaim your power, masculines, and let's see what the divine feminines need to know about this King of Swords energy. Be here now, 34. So divine feminines, you're being asked to just be present. So do not respond in play acting to any shows of lower vibrational dominance just for the show of dominance and submission. Don't play the game. Others are watching, others are learning, others are adoring your connection as it becomes more public knowledge. So don't be misleading. Remember, submission is the true power as well. You do not have to submit to any show of dominance that is not authentic, justified, warranted, harmful. You do not have to do that, and nor should you. There is a far greater good being adjusted here through this than to mislead yourself, delude yourself and others. So that was a very sincere message I wasn't expecting there. But feminines, you're not powerless in this. And masculines, your feminine is very astute, very, very sensitive to energy now. And the divine has just informed the feminines not to play along with anything that's a hollow show of feigned control. So reclaim your authentic power. Be yourself, masculines. Be yourself, feminines. So we're getting that King of Feathers and Gaia. So the frequency of Gaia reminds us that we are infinitely connected to one another, just as we are to our great mother and to the universe that birthed us all. So for some reason, I think I didn't pull a card with that. Oh, maybe it's a duplicate. I was told to pull another one. So this is, we're all in it together. So this is a reminder that these connections are not just for the counterparts. They are also for community and for the planet, for the ascension. What are the feminines being asked to know about this? Okay, this is kind of beautiful because the feminines, you know, there are changes in the physical in relationships. The Three of Swords, there's like something really sawstastic going on over there. I hope that's not too loud. Anyways, we're turning heartache on its head. So you feminines have the ability, you know, sometimes this King of Swords energy can be sneaky. And it can look like one thing on the surface while being subversive. In the past, that really ran amok and really wrecked a lot of relationships. Entangled third energies, subversive flirting, and shows of ruffled feathers. You can make these changes to not put up with that stuff. You don't have to allow masculine energies to disrespect and submit to things that are not kosher, so to speak. You can erase heartache by not aligning with that, you know, by handling yourself appropriately, by making balanced changes and assessments with what's going on, because it's not just your life. We are all intimately connected. What you do for self, you do for other. And you've worked so hard to get to this place of authentic union. It's not about just being in a relationship. It's about literally being at one with and peace with and allowing love to flow through that relationship, through the two of you, through you, into community, friends, family, and to be impeccable that way, to actually eliminate heartache, to actually ground these new cycles. There's those two pentacles again that we got at the beginning. So from the crown chakra into the physical here, It's moving. This empowerment coming in. So your empowerment, feminines, is not to put up with anything that is fake or showy or insincere, and to not play along if there are still shows of feigned connection. Or so that means also don't go into disintegrated feminine by going into a masculine mode that is condescending or rude or nasty to your masculine. Remove yourself from things that don't resonate. Make balance changes so you're not perpetuating energy. Don't start drama. Don't do any of that. So you don't have to succumb to following suit with things that are not healthy to play along with, and you don't have to start drama, feminines. So yeah, that's beautiful. What can we see for the sacral chakra? The Hanged One in the reverse. Okay, so we're coming out of a period of passivity or stagnation on the surface. We all know there's been a lot going on under the surface, but we're breaking that silence or that past cycle. We're coming out of it now. So what can we see for the Hanged One? A little teasing and frustration can yield great satisfaction and insight when you are finally relieved. Make sure you decide when it ends. So there does seem to be some steam that might need to be released after these periods of distance, or paths have pulled each other apart. Whatever it's been, there might be a temptation to kind of chide or tease. Don't go too far. If you're coming back together, appreciate and have gratitude that you're coming back in together. Don't run in a karmic way. Don't run off with the energy and damage anything. Be grateful that the energies are coming back together. Beware of an uncomfortable limbo and being stuck in roles. So it's a new cycle. It's a new dawn, everyone. Wow, divine feminine. So this is really divine feminine. Those messages about the submissive partner coming into leadership in those unassuming ways by having an equal say in what's acceptable in these true love connections, as far as conduct, both within the connections and outward shows. Not being sloppy with those things. So divine feminine says, supports our receptive, nurturing, and soft side, allowing it to express itself openly and helping us to connect to our intrinsic understanding of our connection to all of creation. So with the Gaia energy and with this, there is a go with the flow kind of grace that's still continuing to ground through this reading into just allowing things to play out naturally. I'm getting that this is even since the solstice, we're having this new outpouring of love, of grace coming into the connections that's allowing for more ease, less guard. We're coming to this motion of flow in the connections as they are prepared to be brought into more community recognition. What are the masculines experiencing with this open expression that's coming in? So again, I want to say, oh yeah, good. So 2 of Swords and Temperance. So there is healing. So masculines, you don't backslide on the healing. Use the right word choices. Speak from your heart. Don't say sarcastic things. Don't chide. Don't poke. Don't be snide. Don't be critical. Don't use this time of coming together as a way to go back into karmic ways of talking or pulling ranks. Be here now. Be in this new, more mature, balanced, genuine, foundational energy going forward. Stay in it. Don't put up sticky energy that will block the connections again. Let it unfold gracefully right now. You're safe. This wouldn't be happening, masculines, if it wasn't ripe in the energy. And feminines, Knight of Swords, communication, and Princess of Wands. So there is a surrender to whatever's going to happen. And feminines, again, you have the ability to handle it in a grounded, mature, present way. You don't have to take just anything coming your way here. So, you know, there is a lot of caution in this reading for divine feminines not to believe the hype of any of the past unsuccessful assessments of what these relationships have been. This means be in the moment, cross every bridge as it comes, and see how everything is connected and that it can all work for the greater good, I'm hearing. What are the root chakra energies? Oh, wait, so that was the sacral chakra. So that means there's going to be much more free flow of sexual energy and much more liberation intimately. So there's going to be more of a soft side coming in, more nurturing. So that means the masculines are going to be more receptive to being nurtured by the feminines. And there's going to be an opening that way. And likewise, the feminines are going to be much more open to the masculines giving, speaking, communicating. And the masculines are going to be more open to hearing the feminines as well, less triggerable. So there is a lot of growth being seen in these cards. What is the root chakra? Knight of Shells. This is the third time we've had this card. So that is talking about the love offers. Romance is coming in the root chakra. So it's grounding in the physical. It's in the works. This is the root chakra is like an ace of pentacles, so romance is coming. A knight in shining armor is riding into your life on a white horse. The dashing knight of shells is likely to be a talented, perhaps penniless artist or musician who will serenade you, declaring you their muse. The knight may appear a romantic wandering fool, but they have some effective techniques up their sleeve. In private, they will be so smooth and sweet as to render them irresistible. Wow, so I just wanted to have happy tears right now. There is something really refreshing and sweet coming in. So this knight may be artful at courtship, but can suddenly backtrack at the last minute, as though consumption of desire would spoil their idealized image of the beloved or of themselves. So there is an opportunity for the connections to come in this new cycle with romance and love and ground in the physical. We don't have to backslide. We got a lot of those messages. Don't believe the hype of the old fears that rear up at this stage. There have been so many cycles where things have kicked off and then it has backslid. We're getting advanced information here showing what the backsliding energy looks like and how to be that emperor instead of the king of swords that's in a role of bravado. So catch it, everybody. Stay genuine, stay authentic. And we get discernment. Exactly. Stay in your discernment so that you can tell when you're tempted to go back into fear, and you can catch that. Or you can catch when your person was doing so well and then they got scared again. Everybody needs to have discernment so we don't destroy these connections, these beautiful sacred connections anymore. We're going to hold on to the love this time. Okay, everybody? Got this? Okay, everybody hands in the middle. 1, 2, 3. Okay, the frequency of discernment supports our ability to view the world and the people around us from a place of inner balance and detachment, yet with compassion and wisdom. So this is where, if this night, if this beautiful love comes in and then there's some shakiness, hold it, hold steady. Don't take it personally. Don't judge the other person. Have compassion that if they acted out of character for the love they were beginning to show, they got scared. It's not about you. Or if it is about you, then you got scared and they didn't have compassion. Either way, it's repairable. You don't have to disintegrate in those moments. So what do the masculines need to know? Stay in your be still and know High Priestess energy and Knight of Wands. So don't act prematurely. If it's not sustainable, take it slow, masculines. Trust your knowing. This is where it moves from the spastastic, hot and cold ghosting player energy to the real deal lifer material. That King of Pentacles, this preparation in the nighttime leading up to the finalization of old cycles and these connections coming in as life partnerships. That's really, really stunning energy. I'm gonna release cry now. Happy tears again. What are the feminines? Okay, 7 of Wands and Justice in the reverse. So divine feminines, don't be defensive and block authentic shows of connection coming in out of fear that it might not work forever. Be discerning so that you can allow the things that are justified and good and true and the things you appreciate to be there so they can grow. Justice is coming, but there's a little bit of a discernment to apply so that we know what is actually beneficial. You know, those sincere shows of affection that are not done with bravado or in subversive ways that aren't beneficial to the couple or to community. So stay on that edge. Everybody stay on your edge and stay with it. Don't think you're crossing the finish line prematurely, but don't be afraid to trust this love like never before. Okay, everybody, many blessings. Bye for now.